Well, in some states of Australia, there was a public holiday, a long weekend, which did actually soften the market. Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic will join me in just a moment, and we'll discuss that as well as give you some up-to-date results over the weekend, and also a look inside a couple of the top sales around Australia. Back in just a moment.
Standing out affordably in a cluttered media landscape is difficult, but now there is a way using social media, buyer targeting and an engaged audience looking and thirsty for property information. The Property Show is an exclusive offering from realty.com.au that can profile and promote your listing to hundreds of thousands of eager and targeted property buyers and sellers. You'll be surprised at the low cost and enormous benefit of combining new media, social media and audience targeting. So get started by following the link on the homepage at Real Estate Uncut.
Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic is with me once again. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Let's firstly bring up the preliminary clearance rates. We'll quickly run through these. Sydney 62.2%, Melbourne 64.1%, Brisbane 34.2%, Adelaide 42.9%, Canberra 68.2%, giving us, Kevin Brogan, a weighted national average just a touch under 60%.
Yeah, look, that's the first time it's dipped below 60% now for 3 weeks. And as you said, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the Queen's birthday weekend, both the number of auctions and I think probably the participation. Most of these auctions obviously happen on a Saturday. And so with the long weekend, you do tend to find just a fractional drop in participation. But still reasonably firm results. And as we've seen before in Canberra, 68% is really fairly solid result, even though it's down a fraction on last week.
Numbers are down a little bit, but we can expect that to be the case because it was a long weekend.
Yeah, look, that's right. And I mean, Melbourne is, for whatever reason, is the capital city that really is impacted the most by public holidays. I think they take public holidays very seriously in Melbourne, and you can see a significant drop in auction numbers, whereas in Sydney there was still a reasonable number, even though it was down on last week.
I want to make a comment, or I want to get your comment, if I may, Kevin, before we leave today, about one of our headlines, which is about sellers being nervous. We'll come back and we'll do that a little bit later. But first up, I just want to go through a couple of the top sales. Top sale out of Sydney was actually one of the beautiful beach areas, Avalon Beach, 37 Riverview Road. And James Baker from McGrath will take us through that one in just a moment. He and Lauren Garner were responsible for selling this one on the weekend for $3,605,000. Tell me a little bit about Avalon Beach.
Yeah, well, Avalon Beach is one of the northern beaches in the Northern Beaches sub-region of Sydney, and it's always performed pretty well as an auction market. As you can see from this property, there's quite a few high-value properties out that way, and this property actually had a price guide of $3.25 million, so it's sold in excess of the price guide. Last sold in 2011, $1.27 million. And if we look at the average ownership here, 11 years, again, that shows that it's a reasonably tightly held area. And the median house price, $1.9 million. That's pretty much at peak. I mean, that's up on 2019 by almost 10%.
Well, you'll see some wonderful views from this property and also an infinity pool. But here's James Baker to take us through 37 Riverview Road at Avalon Beach.
Just a 5-minute stroll from the sands at Paradise Beach, this master-built entertainer offers the quintessential Avalon lifestyle. Welcome to 37 Riverview Road in Avalon Beach. I'm James Baker from McGrath, and along with my colleague Lauren Garner, it's our absolute privilege to show you through this incredible family home. It's an exquisite family home that combines exceptional quality and dimension with an effortless coastal design and some truly spectacular views across Pittwater. What's immediately apparent is the exceptional flow across the entire design. There's a seamless connection between interior spaces and outdoor entertaining areas, the infinity edge pool and tropical gardens. It's also a highly functional floor plan for the family with a choice of study areas plus a large versatile room on the ground floor that works either as a home office or rumpus. Entertaining is second nature in this home. Bifolds open the deluxe kitchen up to a stunning deck that feels like a natural extension of the home. Upstairs are 5 oversized bedrooms with wardrobes plus a study. The master claims panoramic pickwater views with a private deck, walk-in wardrobe and designer ensuite. This is a home that achieves the perfect blend of livability and pure coastal style, set just a few steps from hilltop shops, Paradise Beach and the heart of Avalon.
Kevin Brogan, wonderful views there, and James doing a really good job. He and Lauren, of course, selling that property for $3,605,000 over the weekend, but sensational views, Kevin.
Oh, look, absolutely. I mean, you can see why that property would have attracted a fair bit of interest. I mean, you know, even where we've spoken about the confidence in the market perhaps being lower than it has been, a property like this is still going to excite a fair bit of interest, as you can see by the successful result there.
Auction numbers in Brisbane were down just a little bit. There were 50 properties who went to auction. Of those, 38 have been reported, giving us a 34.2% success rate. One of the successful sales on the weekend was in Bridgeman Downs, which is well known for acreage properties. 9 Quaver Court sold for $1,325,000 by NGU Real Estate, and Helen Saba selling this one. Set on just over 3,500 square metres of land, typical of what we see in the Bridgeman Downs area, Kevin?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's within 20 kilometres of the Brisbane city centre, and to get a block that size, you know, that close in does mean that this has been a fairly popular locality. Average ownership 12.9 years, so again, you know, reasonably tightly held. Interesting to see again the median house price $790,000 for Bridgeman Downs, and that's up to 2.3%. And like with the last sale we just looked at, pretty much at peak in terms of the median house price.
Well, this home as well having an in-ground pool, and as I mentioned, on just over 3,500 square metres of land. So let's see what else you get when you buy a property for just a touch over $1.3 million in Bridgeman Downs. Here's a look inside. Nothing better than being in the CBD, Kevin, and being able to enjoy all that land as well. That's what you get at Bridgeman Downs. So yeah, sensational property. Congratulations to the team there at NGU Real Estate. Kevin, before I let you go, I just wanted to get your take on something that I've been talking about with several people over the weekend, and that was what seems to me to be still the nervous nature of many sellers, you know, with their reluctance to bring properties to market. Certainly no shortage of buyers.
No, look, I mean, we've certainly discussed this previously, that at the moment we've got a sales to new listings ratio of 1.3, meaning 1.3 houses sell for every new property brought to the market. I think there is a story in there about confidence. It is building, but it's going to take time to sort of get back, if you like, to the pre-coronavirus levels. But one of the things to factor in is if you are a purchaser and your confidence has increased, you know, and you were looking to buy a property immediately prior to the coronavirus situation, you may well have had everything you needed in place. You know, you got your finance approved, you've actually been looking at the newspapers. All you've got to do to pick up the story is to actually start looking at properties on the market again. So I think probably purchasers can respond to market changes like this much more rapidly than vendors. But you're right, I think vendors would probably still be exercising some caution because committing to sell a property involves committing to spending money on advertising and, looking for a stable situation between now and the next month, when hopefully you're going to get an outcome.
Well, certainly I think sellers can take heart from the fact that we're looking at a preliminary clearance rate nationally of just a touch under 60%. Good results coming out of Sydney and Melbourne, almost right around Australia, particularly out of Canberra as well. So we'll have a look at that. We'll just bring up those preliminary clearance rates again for you just to have a quick look at before we leave. But Sydney, 62.2%, Melbourne, 64.1%, Brisbane, 34.2%, Adelaide, 42.9%, Perth, 33.3%, and Canberra, 68.2%, giving us a weighted average of 90, we wish 90, but 59.8%. Kevin Brogan, thanks very much for your time. Kevin will be back again on Friday. We'll have a look at what's coming up in the week ahead. Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic, our regular guest every Monday and every Friday, right here with Auction Update. And don't forget, you can see all of our shows at Real Estate Talk and also at realty.com.au. Kevin Brogan, thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Kevin.